Differently here on this live stream today. We're doing live stream with TikTok. I was gonna make it a TikTok only live stream, but I think I'm able to do YouTube here as well on my phone. So this will be a little bit interesting to see how this works. Let me go grab a glass of water before we get started here. Talking about cryptocurrencies and some of your favorite stocks if you have them here, guys. Start off with Bitcoin first. All right, music sounds good, volume's good. All right. Doing things a little bit differently today. All right, everybody, how's the volume coming in? I'm about to turn the music down here a little bit. All right, let's get into it. Let's see, I gotta move this around here. Looking at the price of Bitcoin right now, currently trading at 112,860. My name is Damien. This is the Meet Damien live stream here. Doing things a little bit differently. I'm trying to do this with a TikTok live stream from my computer. However, I am still able to do a live stream here for my YouTube guys using my phone here. So I decided to flip-flop things here a little bit. Usually I do the live streams with, with YouTube on the computer, and then I do TikTok with my phone. This time I got a flip-flop. Now I'm doing YouTube on my phone and TikTok from the computer. So this is a little bit interesting. And I see DZ's in the chat, and Kevin Hawthorne is also in the YouTube live stream here. Good to see you guys. We got a good amount of people that joined here on YouTube. I'm glad to see that. We're looking at the price of Bitcoin right now, currently trading at $112,800. We had a nasty red candle yesterday. Believe it or not, Bitcoin only went down 2%, but it felt pretty devastating for the altcoins out there, as some of you might have already experienced and witnessed. But yeah, Bitcoin trotting below this 50-day moving average, this green line here. I want to see Bitcoin get above it. That green line, the 50-day moving average, sitting at 113,268 bucks. If we can get above this, then this could just be a bad dream, a fake out for us to go to higher prices, hopefully to the upside here. And that is all that we are looking for here, is for Bitcoin just to get above this $113,200 level here, in my opinion. That's how I feel. Let me go ahead and let's see. TikTok is over here saying that my live stream can't be recommended for cannot be recommended for recommendation here because of the restricted content. We're just talking about Bitcoin, but I don't know. This thing always it always gets funky whenever I talk about Bitcoin on TikTok or crypto. They think I'm over here trying to peddle like a fraud or a scam. It's unfortunate. YouTube doesn't give me any problems like that. Although I heard YouTube used to give problems to some of the content creators and shadow ban them like a few years ago. So I don't know. Maybe TikTok is still doing that for some people here too. Anyways, getting back into the charts here. This could just still be a higher low. I'm not completely worried about Bitcoin until we start losing some more support. Obviously, we got to lose this 100-day support at 100-day moving average support at $110,000. That would be the next downside target if Bitcoin does decide to come down there. And that would put us at the same level that a lot of people were buying Bitcoin here in May and June, okay? People were buying near 108 to 110K. I think that's going to be a support area. It's also a support area that we had here back in late August, beginning of September, between 107K to 110K. That's another zone that we could end up going down to if Bitcoin decides to go to lower prices on us still. So I'm still looking out for that area. Also, we have a 200-day moving average support at 103,700 in this area. Another area that people were buying back here in May, okay, earlier this year. If we lose that 200-day moving average, then I would say it is game over for this rally. We would obviously be putting in lower highs and lower lows to get down to that point. And I myself will be selling my my own crypto to get out of the way, because you know, if this is all we're gonna get for crypto, then that's all we're gonna get. And I do not want to stick around to find out how much lower the price goes. Some people call them for like 93K because there's like a CME gap down there at like 93K that needs to get filled. I don't want to stick around to find out. If Bitcoin starts coming down to $103,000, $104,000, that's when I'm gonna be clicking sell for some of my crypto. Not financial advice for you guys. You guys can do whatever you want. You guys are on a different investing and trading journey than I am. But I know I already made some money, and I don't want to lose the profits and gains that I made. So I will be, you know, clicking that sell button to avoid losing my capital. It's capital preservation mode. If Bitcoin loses the 200-day moving average, that red line, 103,700. You mark that on your chart here. If you lose that 200-day moving average, I think it's prudent to get out of the way. Because, I mean, last time we lost the 200-day moving average, you know, we were here in January, February when we saw Bitcoin at $109,000. And then we lost it, and we came all the way down to like $74,000. That wasn't so fun, okay? This 200-day moving average is not too far off from where we are right now. And we have made some gains in the meantime. I do not want to stick around to see how much lower Bitcoin goes if we lose a 200-day moving average, in my opinion. I see we also have DZ and TikTok. And I'm sorry, John316 is also in TikTok as well. All right. That's good to see. Actually, no, I take that back. I got confused here. You guys on my YouTube, you're on my YouTube live stream. But yeah, still good to see you guys nonetheless here. Cam is saying that we're looking like we're due for a shakeout here. And Cam is requesting NVAX and ILV. Okay. ILV and NVAX. And I'm just trying to see, like, oh, all right, I got a good amount of viewers on my TikTok. I got about like 19 of you guys here. And all right, or at least I have 19 views here. I don't know. I'm thinking about restarting the TikTok here because I should have more viewers than this. Yeah. I'll do NVAX and ILV for you, Cam, right now. But then I'm thinking about restarting this TikTok live stream because TikTok is shadow banning me right now, and that's very disappointing because I decided to go live with them using their live studio program, their TikTok live program here. So that's a little bit disconcerting. I'm a little bit upset that they're doing that to me. Here I am trying to do something for them, and they're trying to restrict me. Okay, so the first one's the stock, and the second one's the crypto. I got you. So yeah, we'll look at NVAX and ILV for y'all. Appreciate that. For my YouTube guys, you can see I got my TikTok guys here on the left requesting some cryptos here. All right, let me just pull you down for a second. And we'll look at NVAX and ILV. So that's Novavax on the NASDAQ. Let me just double check here. NVAX and ILV. Got it. All right. So we're looking at NVAX right now, currently trading at $8.90. Up slightly today, only 3 cents. I'm just trying to see what NVAX has done. I'm looking at this stock for the very first time. And looks like you had a nice sharp rise here in June of 2024. However, you've been making lower highs and lower lows since then in a downtrend. However, what I do like, what I'm seeing right now with NVAX is you are getting above the 2-day moving average. You've done it here in early August. Kind of got a little bit ahead of yourself there, only for you to get knocked back down to the 2-day moving average. You used it as support, and now you're bouncing off of it. This is looking good in my eyes here for NVAX so far. I'm a little curious to see what it looks like on the oscillators. On the oscillators here, looking at the RSI, you can see that we have higher low, relatively higher lows here. So that's good to see. That means buyers are stepping in at these prices. We've seen this get as low as like $5.01 here. So just keep maintaining that uptrend for now. I'll kind of draw that out here on the chart for you. There we go. But yeah, just keep maintaining that uptrend that you're in, and I think you'll be fine for NVAX. Just know that you might come down, you might lose the 200-day moving average, and you might have to revisit the uptrend here, which would still be below the 200-day moving average, but that's fine. Okay, as long as you're maintaining that uptrend. Would I start new positions here? Not unless you're in it for the long term. I would like to see if this thing does start coming down to the 200-day moving average one more time at $7.63. See if you can scoop up some relatively cheaper NVAX. So like, you know, when this thing, if it loses $8 and goes into the $7 territory, I would try to see if I could buy some in this zone here between $7.63 and $7 or even $6.90. That'd be a better buy zone than buying right now. Because if you buy right now, it could just drop on you right to the 200-day moving average. So I would look out for that. Looking at the yellow oscillators here, MACD looks fine. Okay, this is what the MACD looks like. You still have steady buying pressure, green candles here. When you start seeing light green start showing up on the MACD, that means the buying pressure is dying down. And you might be able to scoop this stock up for a cheaper price, especially if you start seeing the red candles come in. And then after the red candles come in, if you start seeing light pink coming in, that might be where the low is coming in for that stock on the daily time frame. And the MACD kind of gives you a hint as to like when the low gets put in. So when you start seeing those light pink instead of dark red. So just be on the lookout for that. I mean, this thing is it could still rise up in price on you and you get more dark green candles. But when you start seeing light green, that's when you know it's kind of topping out. Kind of like you saw back here in May. And you can just be on the lookout for a lower price to be buying some more NVAX, in my opinion. Okay. Looking at the cheat sheet on the Market Cipher B, you had a green buy dot that came in on September 5th. Saying that you would have a few good days, maybe even a couple of good weeks ahead of you, which we already have. You're now waiting for a red sell dot to come in. When that red sell dot comes in on Market Cipher B, that's usually a good signal that you probably have a few bad days, maybe even a bad week or two. So I'd be on the lookout for the red sell dot coming in, signifying that you should probably be getting out of NVAX, in my opinion here. At least taking profit. You don't have to get out of it totally, but taking profit when you see the red sell dot come in on the daily time frame here. But money flow is increasing right now on NVAX. I'm a little bit curious. What does this thing do? Let's just look at the to the right over here. This thing is a biotechnology company which engages in the discovery, development, and commercializations of recombinant vaccines. Okay, so they make vaccines. And the company is headquartered in Maryland. All right, Gaithersburg, Maryland. Didn't really give you an upside target for this one. I think the upside target for now is just seeing if can you get back up to the highs here on August 18th at $10.64. That'd probably be my first take profit target. And then going forward, let's see if we can get back to where we were here in August of 2024. Not last month, but August of last year. This thing was trading at $12.80. I think this is another area for you to be looking for to sell some of your Novavax. All right. John talking about the Latinos again. You really love the fact that I go out with some pretty Latina girls out there, huh? Trying to find out which one's going to be the wife. And John says, smash the like button if you guys haven't done so already. Let's go ahead and smash that like button. And DZ says, what's the 200 EMA level for Bitcoin that we need to watch for? I was using the 200 simple moving average on Bitcoin, not the exponential moving average. The exponential moving average might be a little bit different for Bitcoin. But right now, the 200 simple moving average is sitting at 103,700. That's the level that I'm looking for using the 200 simple moving average. Now, the exponential moving average might be a little bit different. Let me just see if I can just put that in real quick here. If I put in an exponential moving average on Bitcoin. Let's see. I just want a moving average exponential. Okay. And we'll make this yellow so it sticks out. And we're going to make this 200. All right, so the 200 exponential moving average on the daily time frame for Bitcoin is at $106,000. There might be some traders and investors that are looking at that level as well. So there's the yellow line here is a 200 exponential moving average, and that red line below it is a 200 simple moving average. I think anywhere between 103,000 to 106,000 should be a really good area to buy Bitcoin, but it also could be a danger zone, which means that we're about to lose the 200 moving averages here, and it could be game over on this this uptrend rally that we're in on Bitcoin. All right, let's move on to ILV was the other one that Khan wants to look at. Let's take a look at ILV here. Yeah, I think after this, I'm going to restart the TikTok live stream here, Cam, because TikTok is not recommending my live stream to anybody. That's a pain in the butt. They're being a-holes to me right now. And it's very disconcerting because like I started this live stream and I wanted to I was going to do a TikTok only live stream, and here they are giving me trouble. They're giving me problems here. Not recommending my live stream to anybody. It's like, what the hell, guys? Like, are you here to help or are you here to hurt me? There are other platforms that I go live on, like YouTube. I'll I could just focus with staying on YouTube if they're gonna be pains in the butts, pains in the asses to me. All right, so we're looking at ILV, currently trading at $13.65, and I appreciate the gifts that you sent me, Cam, there. Thank you. Let me get rid of the 200 moving average exponential. I don't really use that. It's just another line on the chart here. Anyways, looking at ILV, I believe this is a cryptocurrency, and ILV looks fine, making higher lows here. Okay, just keep doing that. I think it'll be fine. ILV currently trading at $13.65, up 1.94%. I have looked at this thing earlier after it made that crazy impulse move here on August, where we saw this thing get as high as $24.80. And I drew a Fibonacci here. And this Fibonacci I mean, we're losing all the, we did a deep retracement already. We came down to the 0.236 at $14.86. And this thing is threatening to go even lower than that, down to basically where we started the move at on August 3rd here, August 4th, where we were as low as like $12.30, $11.80. We actually came down to $12.43 yesterday. So this whole move, you basically did a round trip if you stuck with this crypto. You know, when you make like a nice 33% gain, you know, in one day, and then the day before that another 23% gain, I don't care what it is, whether it's crypto or stocks, you should be clicking the sell button. Okay, because even if it does pull back up, sometimes it'll come back down to where you sold it at, and then you can get back in. But like if you didn't click the sell button, man, you're kind of regretting that right now. Because you could have sold this thing at 24 bucks or even in the high 20s, but now here we are sitting at 13 bucks. You basically lost half of your gains already, or almost all of your gains. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind for the next time, just to become a better trader. When you see 30, 40, 50% gains in like 1 or 2 days, you should probably click that sell button. I'm gonna turn the music down here a little bit, guys. Seems like it's a little bit loud on my end. Oh man, that's mute. All right, that's right. That's hopefully the volume's a little bit better there for you guys. Now I can barely hear it at all. How's the music sound from my TikTok guys? I can barely hear it now. I might have to turn it up just a little bit more. Yeah. All right, that sounds a little bit better. All right. All right, yeah. So ILV, we already said that this thing has done a deep retracement. You pretty much done a round trip on your crypto here. If this thing starts cashing the bids here off the 200-day moving average, which is sitting at 1379, you're not too far off from that. You would expect this thing to at least try to reclaim that 618 fib retracement level at $19.80, $20.21, basically 20 bucks. Can you get back up to 20 bucks? If you're able to do that, you know, we're looking at this thing going up about like 47%. 47% gain if you can get back up to the golden pocket here. If you're not going to do that, then you got the 0.5 retracement at like $18 and 20 cents. That's about 33% gain up in this this crypto here. But the thing that I like about this thing being like close to the 200-day moving average and still making higher lows is you just put your stop loss right below the candlewick low of yesterday at 1243, and all you're risking on your stop loss at 1243 is about 9%, 10%. Okay, that's a decent risk reward ratio, a decent risk if you're trying to get up to you know, the golden pocket at like 46%. That's like a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. And then here, if you just try to get up to the 0.5 retracement, that's like a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. And I'll just game plan that out. I just showed it to you using the percentages here, but if I do the long position here, as some of you guys might already be doing on some of your trading platforms, but if we're just trying to get up to the 0.5 retracement here, that's a 3.65 risk reward ratio. Anything above 3 is considered a good trade. And then if you're trying to just get back up to the golden pocket here, your risk reward ratio is actually 5. That's an even better trade to be taken. And you're risking, like I said, you're risking 90% to try and get 46%. And you slap on maybe like 5x leverage, and that's about like a 230% gain. And about a 50% loss if it goes against your your trade here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try to restart the TikTok live stream here. See if we can get more people to show up here. Dizzle says crypto market is garbage. Well, Dizzle, do you have any particular stocks you want to look at? We can look at stocks as well besides crypto. Bro, let's see. You invested $10,000 on ILV and you sold 30% gains. That's good. Good job there, Cam. Good job. And Cam says his favorite stock is BCRX, and MVAX has been trading this 12 years so far. Wow. All right. I'm going to go ahead and restart this live stream here on TikTok. Just bear with me, guys. Be on the lookout for the next one here. Try to get a few more people to join than we have already. Oh, of course. Now, when I decide to restart the live stream here, another person just joined. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and restart this TikTok here. All right. They're saying that my content's not original. Oh my god. All right, let me just go ahead and restart this thing here. How do I? I'm new to TikTok on the computer here, so just bear with me. I'm trying to figure out how to end the live stream here. Let's see. Do I just have to click the exit button? Where does it show the end screen? All right, I'll just click exit. Yep, exit now. All right. Okay. Just bear with me, guys, for my YouTube guys here as I try to restart the TikTok live stream. You guys got an up close view of me. All right. Let's try this one more time. TikTok. Restarting the live stream. DZ asking about Wi-Fi Yeti. No, we haven't looked at Wi-Fi Yeti. What's the ticker symbol for that one? We could look at Wi-Fi Yeti if that's a request. All right, let's try this again one more time. And I think we're back up and running again. Okay. All right, so what is that? WLFI. Oh, that's World Liberty Finance. Oh, so you had like a little bit of typo there. Okay, World Liberty Finance. Let's take a look at World Liberty Finance. All right, I see Dizzle is back in the chat here. Good to see you, Dizzle. Hopefully we get a few more people to join. Hopefully I see my buddy Cam come back in again. We're looking at World Liberty Finance right now. Currently trading at 19, almost 20 cents here. And World Liberty Finance is a cryptocurrency that hasn't been around for a while here. Looks like it first started trading on Mexi Exchange here on September 1st. So this is brand new, not even a month old cryptocurrency. And there's not really much data I can get from this crypto, at least on the daily time frame. None of my moving averages are showing up. Oh, I take that back, actually. There is a 21 EMA, a white line, barely, right over here. Let's see, that 21 EMA sitting at 21 cents right now. I'm not sure how useful that is. But what I could tell you is that with World Liberty Finance, we were making higher lows here, which was good to see on the daily time frame. And we were maintaining an uptrend here up until yesterday. And now today, you lost your uptrend here on World Liberty Finance. And now you got, I mean, you still got a higher low compared to what you had here on September 11th, where came down to like 18.5 cents here. I still think 18 cents is an area, or 18.5 cents is an area where you should be considered buying some World Liberty Finance if you're inclined to do so. This red zone area. And also, like, yeah, around 18.5 cents. Anything below 19 cents seems to be a good buy zone, in my opinion here. Let me go ahead and turn the VRVP indicator here real quick, see what the VRVP has to say. And you can see that the VRVP indicator is this green and red bars to the right here. Let me just get rid of the, I'm going to get rid of this Fibonacci for now. But you're near the value area low, so you should be considering opening up some longs, buying some more World Liberty Finance at this low of a price here. If you go below the value area low, this white line, then it just makes it even more undervalued at that point. And you should be considered definitely buying below this white line on World Liberty Finance here. Okay. And then you're trying to see if you could buy low, right? That's the whole point of this, right? We're trying to buy low, sell high. You buy low here. And then at the very least, this thing should come back to the POC at 21, 22 cents here, that blue line. And then the volume drops off, and this thing could come up to this other white line here. That's your value area high, sitting at like 24.5 cents here. That's where I would click sell, especially if you're leverage trading, day trading this. And then maybe take some profits if you are swing trading it. But this is a relatively new cryptocurrency. We don't know how high it could go or how low it could go. But I could try to come up with a better guess here if I put on the Fibonacci here. So if this thing does break out of this range, the range being 19.5 cents and 24.5 cents, if we go higher than that, then we're looking at a 1272 of like 28 cents and then a 1618 of like 31 cents. That could be your long-term target for World Liberty Finance. Even longer term, this thing possibly could get up to the 2618 at 41 cents and the 3618 at 50 cents. Let me just turn the volume down here on my end. Oh, you're welcome, DZ, for the VRVP indicator. Yeah, the VRVP indicator, very useful, I think, especially when you're in a range like you already are. Definitely kind of points things out better to you using that VRVP indicator. I actually watched Frankie Candle on YouTube, and he's an expert when it comes to the VRVP indicator. And he's done some tutorial videos on what he looks for. If you ever want to look at the VRVP indicator and become better at it, Frankie Candles is another good YouTuber to be looking out for. Also, you can go on my channel on YouTube here, and I do have a VRVP indicator video for those who want to know how to use the VRVP indicator. It's like a 16-minute long video, but I teach you guys how to use it and how to trade with it. That's on my Meet Damien YouTube channel. It's also on my TikTok channel as well. Let's see. I think I highlighted it for my TikTok guys. This thing will load up real quick. I actually pinned the video. So, yeah. The VRVP indicator is this one that has like 1,500 views on it. And then I also have a video here on how to use the Fibonacci indicator as well. I pinned those videos, so they're on up top on my TikTok page here. Okay. But yeah, those are some good videos to look at. And Frankie Cannels is another YouTuber that uses the VRVP indicator a lot as well. Oh my God. TikTok is doing this again to me. They're saying, "Oh, your live is not going to be recommended to anybody here." What the hell, TikTok? Appeal, please. All right, so we got a couple of people watching right now on TikTok because TikTok is just being a pain in the butt. You know, if TikTok's gonna be a pain in the butt, I'm just gonna do things like I normally do, and I'm just show more love to YouTube and not really do TikTok. I'll still do TikTok, but I'm just gonna have to do it on my phone instead, since they're trying to like restrict my content here. Such pains in the butts. You know, they want me to go live here using the computer. Here I am showing up for TikTok, and they decide to restrict my content. Like, what the hell, guys? We're over here trying to teach people how to become better traders and investors, and apparently that's a problem for them. Me teaching you guys is a problem for TikTok. What does that say about TikTok? I don't know. I don't like it. Anyways, moving on from that, I still got my YouTube guys here. DZ's asked me, do I use the visible or the fixed VRVP indicator? I actually use the visible. Yeah, I don't do fix. I could do fix, but yeah, I just do whatever, you know, the visible VRVP indicator, because I could just adjust it to whatever time frames I'm on, and it will gather that data for me and give me the VRV indicator that I'm looking for. All right, moving on from World Liberty Finance, let's look at some other cryptocurrencies here. Let's see what you guys have here for requests on TikTok. Thank you, Dizzle, for hitting the like button. Kader is asking me, do I think we'll see a $1 World Liberty Finance? That's going to probably be later on in the future here. The 3618 is saying that we could see 50-cent World Liberty Finance. I know that's not a dollar, but that's kind of close to it. We haven't seen a dollar since when it first came out. I don't know if that's possible. That could be a fluke right there. You would need a lot more money to be pouring into World Liberty Finance in order for you to see a dollar. I'm not saying it's not possible, but just highly unlikely for now. You're going to have to wait to see $1 World Liberty Finance. Thank you, Mr. Warren, for following me here. Appreciate the follow. Let's see. Crypto Hodler says buy Aventus on Coinbase. We could try to take a look at the Aventus. It's another new cryptocurrency, relatively new cryptocurrency. And Dizzle wants the stock market money to start coming to crypto. That'd be nice, right? I feel like a lot of people got scared out of crypto over the last past year now. 2025 hasn't really been that great for crypto. It's been all right for Bitcoin and a few select ones like Solana, even XRP. But a lot of these altcoins have been taking a beating, and Bitcoin really hasn't really done much either. It's still trading at the same price, just a little bit above where it was at in January. We're at the same price that Bitcoin was at this price around like May. Like, it's not really doing much. So I totally understand why people are frustrated with crypto. I get it. And I understand why they would rather just be in the stock market, where they can just understand like where these companies are actually making their money and where the money's coming from. Anyways, let's take a look at Aventus. I believe that was a request here. So we're now looking at Aventus, currently trading at $2.16, up 4.9% today. 4.9% today. And this is a relatively new cryptocurrency that first started trading on Coinbase on September 9th. So I don't have any of my moving average data. I did measure a Fibonacci from the impulse move here on Saturday, where this thing was trading as low as like $1.05. And we topped out here at 268 on yesterday, on Monday. So we got some Fibonacci levels to look out for here on Aventus. And right now we're just hanging out near the Golden Pocket. Golden Pocket, that 618, is trading at $2.07. And the 6.5 golden numbers at $2.13. So we're like kind of hanging out here. However, we do have low levels below us. I think we might have tapped one of those levels here. We came down to $1.74 earlier on Tuesday, which is right above this 0.32 retracement. So that's the low water mark for now. Just keep in mind that we could go lower than that, down to $1.46, which is where your 0.236 retracement's hanging out at. Those are some levels where you might be able to scoop up some relatively cheaper Aventus. And then to the upside, Aventus starts catching some bids. We do have a 1272 fib extension level here at $3.12. And then a 1618 at $3.67. And for those of you who are in it for the long term, we do have a 2618 showing that Aventus could get up to like $5.27 here. So that is what we got here for Aventus. Yeah, I really can't do much with this besides it's a brand spanking new crypto. I don't have any moving averages to help give any confluence to any of these Fibonacci numbers here. I can look at what the RSI is doing maybe. Maybe that could kind of help us figure things out. Yeah, the RSI barely shows any data here. You're still overbought at like 81 on the RSI. Okay, so keep that in mind that Aventus could drop on you. It needs to like chill out, maybe go sideways at best before we start launching up to higher prices again. All right, guys, I want to take a look at the trade that I'm in. I'm going to trade with Aerodrome. Let's see how Aerodrome's doing for me right now. I'm only up 5% on Aerodrome. I got in earlier this morning at $1.11. And right now we're trading at $1.12. And I got my stop loss at like $1.10. I got a really tight stop loss on this. But yeah, I'm looking, let's see. Hey, let me get back into it. I got to click on Aerodrome here. See what Aerodrome looks like on the charts here. All right. I could trade SUI and other cryptocurrencies for $0 on Mexi Exchange. That was a little reminder there. So, yeah. Aerodrome Finance on the 15-minute chart here. The thing that I like about Aerodrome right now is that we are getting above this red line here, that 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame. We're now kind of like chilling out and going sideways for now, doing some bullish consolidation. This would be your flag pole, and this is the flag that we're creating right now. And you're just bullishly consolidating near the 200-day moving average on the 15-minute time frame for Aerodrome. I would expect Aerodrome, if it does continue to go up to higher prices, to just continue maintaining this uptrend. Let's see if I can draw a trend line here. But as long as you're just maintaining these higher lows that you're creating right now on Aerodrome, I would expect it to at least get up to like $1.16 at the very least. Looks like a couple of days from now, we could see $1.16 Aerodrome. But I got my take profit up here at $1.30. I'm trying to target where Aerodrome was trading at back here a few days ago. September 18th, we saw Aerodrome at like $1.30, $1.31. So I got my take profit at that level. And if I was to take profit at $1.30, I would make about $272 on that trade. I'll be up 327%. And my stop loss is really tight At $1.10, I will lose 25 bucks on this trade, and I will lose about 30% if it gets down to that area. All right, hopefully that fixes things on the YouTube there. Thanks for that comment there, Dizzle. Let's see. I'm gonna try to move the screen around here. All right, looks like I fixed that. Sorry for that issue, that little technical issue there. I wish somebody on my YouTube would have told me that the screen was frozen there. But I think the VPN kind of messed things up there. Looks like I got you guys back though. Dizzle wants to look at ZBCN and Cam wants to look at AVAX. So we'll do AVAX first and then we'll do ZBCN. And then we'll come back around to look at SNX. Thank you guys for the request there. All right, so AVAX. Let's see how Avalanche is doing. Avalanche is looking fine. I actually had some Avalanche last year, but I sold it to get some more SUI instead. But I'm glad to see that Avalanche is finally getting the attention that it deserves and going up to higher prices here. I have done a Fibonacci on Avalanche, and the 1618 was saying that we could see Avalanche come up to $34.66, and we already hit that target. If this Fibonacci is still good, then we do have another target above us. That's the 2618 at $46.43. That's an upside target for Avalanche. Let's see, if we were to continue doing what we're doing right now, if we don't lose this uptrend here, this is how I kind of like figure out like when we'll hit targets here. I'll just do a trend line, you know, connecting the lows here as best as I can. And yeah, we'll say that's the uptrend here. So if this is the uptrend that Avalanche is in, it looks like you'll get up to that $46 target around right before Halloween on October 23rd. Not saying that's going to happen, but if we just keep doing what we're doing here with Avalanche and just climbing up and to the right and we don't lose this uptrend, you can expect Avalanche to at the very least hit $46 by October 23rd. Just using this uptrend here. Interesting. Let's see what Avalanche looks like on the oscillators here. Is it healthy? Is it healthy enough to do that? Right now, RSI on Avalanche is at 72, so you're a little bit overbought. So Avalanche could be due for a pullback. I mean, it kind of did yesterday, right? But it's okay. You could still be overbought, especially if we're going to get into the exponential move in cryptocurrency. Then you would expect this thing to stay overbought above an RSI of 70. And that's going to help you get up to that $46 target, right? But just keep in mind that right now, Avalanche, because it's overbought, it might want to drop down on you, or at the very least, just go sideways before we're able to go up to higher prices here. Thing to pay attention to will also be the MACD. And the MACD is showing that, yeah, you had buying pressure the last couple of weeks here on Avalanche. However, the buying pressure is dying down, so there you go. I think Avalanche wants to chill out for a little bit. If this thing was still going dark green candles, then, you know, I would be expecting Avalanche to be overbought on the RSI as we continue going up to $46. But because we're losing some of that buying pressure right now, I would expect Avalanche to go sideways at best, maybe possibly start going down. So keep that in mind. Also, stochastic RSI is it curved downward, and you're trending downward. So I think the excitement for Avalanche is starting to wane down a little bit. And then Market Cipher B, you had a red sell dot on Sunday saying that was the time to get out of Avalanche at those high prices. Just keep in mind that, you know, you get a red sell dot and then get a green dot the next day. You know, we have been seeing some green, red kind of action going on here. towards like the end of August. So this is kind of useful, but I think looking at the 3-day or the 5-day is a little bit better. And the 3-day, on the 3-day graph here, yeah, money flow is going into Avalanche. That's good to see. But you just had a green buy dot on the beginning of September. And we know the next dot's going to be a red sell dot. So when you see the red sell dot come on the 3-day, that's probably your indication that it's time to take profit on AVAX if you haven't done so already. All right, and if you don't plan on taking profit, just plan on being able to buy some more Avalanche at lower prices when that red sell dot does come in on Market Cipher B. But yeah, this is what AVAX looks like on the 3-day chart. These are all 3-day candles now. You're above the 200 moving average. That's good to see. You actually came to the 200 moving average at like $29.76. You actually came down to that and got a bounce. So that's good to see. And on the 200, on the RSI for the 3-day, you're not overbought on the 3-day, but you're getting close to it. You were overbought here on September 16th. So I think Avalanche, it's okay, but I would expect Avalanche to go sideways. I would find it a lot harder for it to go to higher prices. I think it needs to do some more consolidation around the $35 area. Let's show that we're actually going to stay above $30 here. And I think more people will be getting excited to get into Avalanche if it can stay above $30. All right, let's get back in the daily time frame and move that. DZ, is that a request for Bard? Are you asking for Bard right now? And then let's see. We're gonna take a look at the other cryptocurrency. We said AVAX, and then we're gonna look at ZBCN. That's the other one we gotta look at. Let's take a look at ZBCN. ZBEC. I think ZBEC was doing pretty well yesterday, while the rest of the market was taking a dump on us. Yeah, yesterday here, ZBEC got up like 10%, while all the other cryptocurrencies were going down 10%. That was interesting to see. Let's see, get this back up here. We're now looking at ZBEC. Currently trading at 41,971, down 3% today. And I've already identified that ZBEC was kind of in like this, it was like a bull flag. It was making lower highs, and lower lows. And we were just wondering, when is ZBEC going to stop doing that trend and just try to go up to higher prices here? And if ZBEC was to go to higher prices, this is for the long term, folks here, the guys who are in it for the long run. If this is a bull flag on ZBEC, then you just take this measured move, this flagpole, you put it to like where we're kind of breaking out right now on ZBEC, and it's saying that we should get up to like 73,180, which is the same levels, around the same levels that this thing was trading at back here in May. The end of May. So we're expecting ZBEC to get back up to where it was in May here for the long-term traders. Now I'm just getting rid of that for now. ZBEC, I still have a Fibonacci I think is useful here. We were trying to get some support here at the 0.382 retracement at 39,000. I think that needs to hold. If not, then we could lose this and come down to the 0.236 level, hanging out at around 31,000. That's also where the 200-day moving average could provide support at. 31,216 is where your last line of defense support is going to be at for ZBEC. Okay, that's if you do come down to those levels. Okay. Right now, I think ZBEC is trying to start an uptrend again. We got to make higher lows here and higher highs. And if we do, then you're just trying to regain the golden pocket level here at like 51,000 and 53,000 is the area that we're looking for ZBEC to the upside. I think that's going to be a short-term swing trading target here. And then, of course, we'll see if we can get back up to the blue level here. That 786 retracement at 60,000. That's going to be a longer-term swing trading target. And for the investors, you're just trying to see if you can get back up to 71,000 here. But that's what it's looking like for ZBEC as of now. ZBEC is very interesting. From what I've seen with ZBEC, it does the opposite of whatever the market is doing. So if the market's going down, ZBEC goes up. And when the market goes up, ZBEC goes down. It's very weird. Okay? But hopefully it will get in line and go up in sync with, you know, Bitcoin. When Bitcoin starts going back up again, hopefully we'll see ZBEC go up as well. All right. Moving on from ZBEC, we got to look at another cryptocurrency. Let's see. I see MMA Squires in the chat. Good to see you, MMA Squire. Oh, we got to look at SNX. SNX. And then I think we'll look at BARD after that. All right, so let's look at SNX. Synthetics. Oh, okay. Synthetics is having a good day today. Up 12.6% today. Trading at 70 cents. 70.5 cents. And I'm just zooming out to see what Synthetics has done. Looks like it's done just about like everything else with altcoins. They had a really good altcoin season in the end of December of 2024. So this thing get as high as $3.69. And then it's just been disappointing ever since then for 2025. Now you're coming down to stinky, danky lows here. Looks like the lowest low was June 22nd at 48 cents. However, now you're starting to create some higher lows and trying to do higher highs here. And you got this 200-day moving average acting as a resistance right now. A lot of these altcoins, they have this very similar charts where they gotten beaten down. They bottom out either in April or June earlier this year. And now they're trying to start an uptrend. And a lot of these altcoins, they're now fighting against the 200-day moving average, acting as resistance. However, this could be, you know, the point where we could see some explosive action on these cryptocurrencies here. Okay, since they've been beaten down, and they're now trying to get above the 200-day moving average. If you get above the 200-day moving average, this red line, I would become more bullish on Synthetics. There are people that use trading bots out there. And one of the qualifications is for the 200-day moving average to be below where the price is at. Right now, we're just now getting above the 200-day moving average. So the 200-day moving average is sitting at 69.5 cents. That qualifies as being below where the price action's at. So trading bots that are being used right now are now going to consider this thing a buy. And they'll start buying an asset like Synthetics here, okay? So that's good to see. Once you get above the 200-day moving average, the trading bots and professional investors out there, they'll start buying Synthetics and they'll put their stop loss below the 200-day moving average or even below like the candlewick lows here at like 59 cents, okay? Because if we do lose 59 cents, then there could be something wrong with this uptrend that we're in. And you don't want to stick around to find out what is wrong with Synthetics here. Okay, but I think you'll be fine here as long as you're creating higher lows and higher highs here. Now, I'm not going to really do a Fibonacci because I don't really see... I mean, this would be the swing low to swing high here. I don't think that really helps. What I will do instead, I will do a VRVP analysis on this to see what this thing could possibly do here. Let me go ahead and turn the VRVP indicator now. And you can see that the value area low is below you at 52 cents. That's probably the best area to be buying this crypto. I'm not sure how likely we are to go down there, but that is a good value area to be buying at. You got the point of control, which is the highest volume with the most buys and sells. These green lines here is the buys, and the red line is the sells. You add them together, you get the node, the volume node here, and the highest volume node is that blue line sitting at like 64 cents. So 64 cents could act as support if this thing does come down. I would consider buying some more at 64 cents. And then you're looking to see if this thing is going to pop up. Once we get past this point of control here, which we already are, but if we go up and climb to higher prices, the volume starts to drop off. And you don't get much resistance until like right over here at like 90 cents. I think 90 cents should be a first take profit target. And then after that, volume drops off again. Very steep drop off. You don't get some resistance until like $1.28, but then there's even more resistance at like $1.40. $1.42. And if you get up to the $1.42, you basically doubled your money on this asset here. So that's where I would long-term swing trading or investing. I would start taking profit at $1.40 because you basically doubled your money at that point. All right. Let's see. Oh, what happened here? Oh, there we go. All right. So I got a few more people in TikTok. Thank God, even though TikTok's not recommending my stream here, I do see some more people in the live stream here. And I know I got my YouTube guys here. Thank you guys for showing up to the live stream. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's see if we can get the likes to match the amount of people that are in the live stream right now. I think that's the very least we could do right now. All right. So I think we'll take a look at Bard for DZ. Keeps talking about it right now. Let's take a look at Bard. Oh, okay. So this is also a brand spanking new cryptocurrency, or at least it's new to Coinbase here. Let's see. Is there another exchange I could get this off of? Let's see, Bard on Binance. It's almost the same thing here. I think I'm gonna go back to the Coinbase chart if I can. Or let's see, Mexi. All right, yeah, this is Bard on Mexi. Currently trading at $1.37, up 46% today. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I understand why you want to talk about this one. It's doing some things here. But I'm not sure what I could do with this technical analysis here. It's there's no moving averages for me because this thing got created or started trading on Mexi last Thursday, so I don't have any moving averages to work with. And yeah, you topped out at like 70. You topped out at like $1.38 on Thursday, and now you're back to $1.37, $1.38 today. I could try to go into the 1 hour time frame, see what the 1 hour time frame looks like. Okay, so you got some moving averages are starting to show up on the 1 hour time frame, but barely. 50 moving average is at $1.01, and 21 EMA is at $1.10. You could come down to those levels if we sell off for any reason. Your RSI is overbought at 80 right now, but it could stay overbought as more people start to climb into this crypto. MACD is showing buying pressure. I think this might be a useful indicator. When you start seeing light green come in, that means the buying pressure is dying down. And then you'll start seeing red candles show up. But when you start seeing light green show up on the MACD on the 1 hour time frame, that could be the top. The local top for whatever this asset's at, whatever Bard's at. So I'd be paying attention to the 1 hour time frame MACD. Once you start seeing light green show up, I would probably get out, take profit. But as long as you're getting dark green candles here and even higher candles on the 1 hour time frame, you can still try to ride this puppy up to higher prices, just using the MACD indicator here. Also, the other thing that might help be useful on the 1 hour time frame is using this market cipher B. You had a green buy dot that came in on Monday night. You're just waiting for a red sell dot. When you see the red sell dot come in, that should be another indication for you to take profit and get out on the 1 hour time frame for BARD here. And that's how I would play it, using the 1 hour time frame and using the MACD and market cipher B to kind of figure out when I should take profit. But yeah, I don't know how high this thing can go. I'll quickly do a Fibonacci and see what we can do here with Fibonacci here. You got a 1272 fib extension saying this thing could climb up to $1.54, and a 1618 saying this thing could climb up to $1.72. Those could be targets to be looking for in the future for Lombard. All right. Let's take a look at, well, we kind of did look at Aerodrome. I'm trying to figure out what's a cryptocurrency I could get into if I want to go long. Which one has gotten beaten down? Which one could possibly go up during the next rally that we get here? I think Sui's interesting. And Pudgy Penguins is also an interesting meme coin. Let's take a look at Pudgy Penguins real quick here. Pudgy Penguin currently trading at 3 pennies right now. I'm on the 1 hour time frame here. Let's go into the daily chart. Try to get the bigger picture here. This would be, I would assume, a good value area to be buying. You're getting close to that 50-day moving average on Pudgy Penguins, sitting at this green line at 0.0284 pennies here. That would be an area that I think traders and investors and bulls will try to defend and not lose that 50-day moving average. Looks like the last low that we had was September 1st, where we came down to 0.027 pennies. So I think 0.027 and 0.028 should be a good value area to be buying Pudgy Penguins if you're able to do so. But even now could be a good time to be buying Pudgy Penguins because you lost a good amount. Like this thing was as high as 3.5, almost 0.036 pennies here. And yeah, how much did you lose here? Let's just game plan this out. You lost about 24%, so you took a 24% haircut from where you were last Thursday on Pudgy Penguins. So you would think if we could just climb back up, let's do a long position here. If you were to buy right now, and you put your stop loss below the candlewick lows here, and you could try to take this thing up to the golden pocket at 3.5 pennies, that's a risk-reward ratio of 6.53. You're going to get like 17%, and you're only risking about 2.67%. Now, if you put your stop loss below the 50-day moving average, which I think some people might be inclined to do so, especially if you're not leverage trading, then you got a risk-reward ratio of 2, which is not the best. So if you're going to put your stop loss below the 50-day moving average, you probably want a little bit more bang for your buck. And you're probably going to ride this thing right back up to 4 cents, I would say. And then your risk-reward ratio becomes 4. Okay? And if you're going to ride this thing back up to the highs here, where we saw this thing up to like 4.5 pennies in July, then I think you get a better risk reward ratio. Now you're looking at like a 56% gain, and your risk reward ratio becomes 6. So for you spot traders out there, you could be buying Pudgy Penguin right now, put your stop loss below 50-day moving average. You're only risking about 8% on the trade, and you're trying to stick around to see if you can get up to 56% gain on your Pudgy Penguin here. Just going back up to like 4.5 pennies. Hey, Molion, good to see you. Thank you for saying hi. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already, so we get some more people to show up here on the live stream. Thank you for coming in. All right. Let me see what my TikTok guys are saying down here. I got to go back into the chat here. Red Diffel is asking me, what is my point of view on Bitcoin? And then Mar wants to look at Polkadot and Filecoin. Okay. Okay, got a couple of requests there. And Cam thinks that the market's dumping and the best coins to be in are the exchange coins, the decentralized exchange coins, I'm assuming. All right, so my point of view with Bitcoin, we talked about Bitcoin earlier in the live stream here. But just looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart here, I do got a lot of lines here to look at. But Bitcoin, it could come down to the 100-day moving average sitting at 110K. That could be the next target for Bitcoin to the downside here. I think we got to defend 107 to 110K. This is an area that people bought back here in May and June earlier this year. Also, that was the point where people were buying here in August, late August. If we start losing 107K, then those people will become anxious that they're now losing break even and they're actually losing money on Bitcoin. And that could be where we end up seeing more sell side pressure, taking us down to the 200-day moving average, just sitting at 103.7K. That is your last line of defense. Once we get down there, I mean, even if we lose 107K, I'm going to start probably consider selling my some of my crypto here, lock in my profits and my gains. But if we lose that 200-day moving average, then I would say this bull run, this uptrend that we're in on Bitcoin is over. And we're going to be going back into like a bear market like we saw back here in March and April earlier this year. That did not feel good when we saw Bitcoin go down like 74K. That was not a fun time. I don't want to stick around for the bad times here. So I'd rather sell at like 107K or 104K Bitcoin as my line of defense before we even come down to a J moving average, and then maybe buy back in again at like 90K or 80 or 70K if we come down there. So I don't want to stick around to find out how bad things get for Bitcoin if we do lose that 200-day moving average. But that thing is sitting at 103.7K, which is kind of like where this 0.236 retracement's at $104,000. You would think, there'd be somebody that's excited to buy Bitcoin at that area. But if we lose that, then I call that game over for this rally. And then to the upside, we're just trying to get back up to, we'll like to get back up to the all-time highs here, right? But I think once we get up to like 118K to 120K, there's going to be a lot of resistance there. We got to get past that 786 retracement at 118,800. That is a tough area to crack because this is an area that people were buying Bitcoin in July during near the all-time highs. And if these people want to get out of Bitcoin because they don't think it's going to go up any further, they'll be anxious to click the sell button on you at 118K. I think that's what happened here on Friday when we got up to like 118K on Bitcoin. We didn't quite get up there, but whoever wanted to get out of Bitcoin because they want to do something else with their money, they clicked the sell button when they saw Bitcoin basically back to where they were break even at here in July. I think we'll be all right. This could just be another higher low for Bitcoin as we go up to higher prices. And we want to get above 118K to get people more excited about cryptocurrencies. And then once we get up to 118K, then that's when we start threatening to go back up to the all-time highs at 124K. So that's what we're looking there for Bitcoin. And then what was the other requests? We got to look at Polkadot and Filecoin. Gotcha. Let's see, .USD on Binance Exchange. Polkadot currently trading at $4.02 roughly. Polkadot has been in a symmetrical triangle that we've been eyeballing for a while here. You got out of the symmetrical triangle. You did that here in the beginning of September. You got as high as like $4.88, and now you're kind of coming back to this downtrend, which is where we had the lower highs here, and you're just back testing the downtrend. There's nothing wrong with that. And then tomorrow, maybe we get a green candle here that brings us up to higher prices here, and you're still maintaining higher lows on the daily time frame here for Polkadot. 200-day moving average is at $4.04. I want to see us get above that and stay above that. Because if you could do that, then that signals to other traders and investors that Polkadot is above its 200-day moving average, and you can be bullish and add more money into Polkadot. And if Polkadot decides to go up to higher prices here, let's go ahead and turn the VRVP indicator. Let's see what we can do here. Right now, you're at the point of control. That blue line is the high volume node at $4. Then the volume starts to drop off at a little bit of resistance at $4.60. Then you got some more resistance here at $5.15. Then the volume drops off again. Might be a little bit more resistance at $5.80 on Polkadot here. And then you got the value area high. This is probably where I put my take profit target for my swing traders out there. $6.58 is a level that a lot of traders and investors were buying back here in January of 2025. So they'll probably want to click the sell button on you once we get up to like 650 here. Now zooming back in, downside target. Let me get rid of VRVP for now. Don't lose the low on August 31st, where you got as low as 373. I probably put the stop loss at like 370. If we go down to 370 and we lose it and we stay below it, that violates this uptrend, and it means there's something wrong with Polkadot. Probably don't want to stick around to find out, so I probably put the stop loss at 370 if I'm just spot trading this. Day trading this, if I was day trading this, I'd probably put the stop loss below the 50-day moving average, this green line at 388. I'd probably put it like 380 or 370, or maybe like 375, somewhere around here. Right below this candlewick low here on Monday, we got as low as like 382. So like, yeah, I think 380 or 375 would be a good stop loss for the day traders out there using leverage. All right, moving on from Polkadot, we got to take a look at the other requests. Let's see, Polkadot and Filecoin. And then Tariq is asking me, am I a pilot? Yes, I am a pilot. I can fly all kinds of airplanes. The biggest one I flew was the CRJ-200, and I flew that for U.S. Airways before they got bought out by American Airlines. And I was a co-pilot sitting next to the captain, and the plane had like 50 passengers. It was one of the smaller jets. It's like a big business jet, and we had like one flight attendant. It was a small jet. We would go to the small airports that you don't hear about, and then pick people up over there and bring them to like the bigger ones, like Charlotte or Philadelphia, Boston, those kind of things. But yeah, I flew airplanes back in the day, but now I just fly for fun. All right, and then I look at the charts here for fun as well. And yeah, I like to do day trading instead. All right. Cam is saying he would like to see Bitcoin at 35 to 45K. Big problem is government is involved in crypto. And what else do you say here, Cam? Over the moon to see Bitcoin go to 3K first. And that's where you bought your first Bitcoin? Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't want to see Bitcoin go down that low, but if it does, that's probably where I would try to buy some if I could. Yeah. Anyways, let's look at Filecoin here. Right now, I'm looking at Filecoin, currently trading at $2.26 right now. And yeah, looking like a lot of the other cryptocurrencies out there, it's below its 200 moving average or trying to fight up against the 200 moving average. The 200 moving average is sitting at $2.59. Yeah, Filecoin just making higher lows here, but still making lower highs. So you kind of got like symmetrical triangle action going on here. If I drew this out, so we're getting tighter and tighter in the symmetrical triangle. You would expect a breakout one way or the other towards the end of October, right before Halloween. But this is a good area to be buying Filecoin right now, near the bottom of this uptrend that you're in. You're still making higher lows here. You got a low of $2.18 on Monday. And then the last higher low was back here at $2.14 on August 25th. So you can just put your stop loss below the candlewick low at $2.18 on Monday, or even below this low at $2.14. And if you lose that, then there's something wrong with Filecoin. But if you don't lose it, then the upside is maybe the 50-day moving average for now at 244, and then after that, you got the 200-day moving average at 259. Let's just game plan that out. Why do you want? Oh my God, stop it, TikTok. You're so annoying. I swear to God. All right. But yeah, just game playing this out. You know, just going back to the if we get up to the 200-day moving average, you're looking at like a 15% gain. And I would expect this thing probably get rejected if we get up to that 200-day moving average one more time. I'm expecting rejection until it actually does something different and actually gets above the 200-day moving average and starts using it as support rather than resistance. Like you want to see, you want to see us get above the 200-day moving average in a very convincing fashion, come back, use the 200-day moving average as support, and then create a higher low to then go create a higher high and go to higher prices on Filecoin. That's what you want to see here. I think that's probably why you're asking about it right now, right? You're thinking that we could get an uptrend and break out to the upside on Filecoin here. And you could, but you got to start proving that you can get above the 200-day moving average and stay above it. But that's what I'm expecting here with Filecoin, like get above the 200-day moving average, come back, use it as support, create a higher low, go to higher prices. And as I start to zoom out, let's see what the VRP indicator has to say for Filecoin. So you get your point of control. This blue line is sitting at $2.50. That's going to act as resistance if we do get up to that area. That's going to be where the 200-day moving average is also at. Once you get above the POC, the volume drops off. You got a little bit of resistance at 285. That could be a take profit target. Then there's some more resistance at $3. That could be another take profit target. And then the volume drops off. and it continues to drop off, you do have a value area high. This would be your long-term take profit target. $4.50. $4.57 is a take profit target for Filecoin. In my opinion, you should try to sell when you get to 450 here. I don't want to look at Solana right now. Solana is one of my biggest cryptocurrency bags out there. I just want to do the VRVP indicator, see what the VRB indicator has to say about Solana. So the VRVP indicator for Solana, Solana is above the value area. So the value area is this white line here. This is your value area low, and then the value area high is right here at 207 for Solana. This is how I know Solana could be. Well, this is how I know Solana is bullish, because you're above the value area, and you're above the value area high. So Solana is doing what it needs to do to continue being bullish here. It could be considered overbought since you're above the value area high on Solana. But that's fine. You need to be overbought in order for you to see higher prices. But yeah, it looks like you got a high volume node here at 237, 238. It's a big volume node there. And then you got kind of like some more volume here at 256 for Solana. But yeah, looks like out of all this trading that we've done for Solana, the point of control is below us at 144 was a good area to be buying Solana. I don't know if we're ever going to go back to that level, because you would have to break through the moving averages. You got the 50-day at 183. You got the 100-day at 176. You got the 200-day at 164. But if Solana did, for some reason, come down and break through those moving averages, you got a lot of support at 144 bucks. I don't want to see that. I want to see Solana continue going up to higher prices. I want to see Solana go up to like 300 bucks, 400 bucks. And then that's probably where I'm going to click the sell button for my Solana. See what you guys are saying here in the live chat. Zane wants to look at Sui. Okay, I got you. We'll take a look at Sui. Kim, I actually bought Solana. I was buying Solana right after FTX went bankrupt, when Solana was at like $13, $16. And then I bought some more at like a lot more at like 19, 20 bucks. I think the last time I made a big purchase of Solana was when it was at 33 bucks in like the end of 2023. In like October of 2023. So yeah, I loaded up on Solana during the bear market. Let's see. We gotta look at Sui. Okay, I got you. We'll take a look at Sui. Sui is actually my second biggest bag of crypto at this moment. Maybe I sell some of my Solana and go put some into Sui. But I think Sui's going to be around for a while, and I think it's trying to compete against Solana and Ethereum here. You know what? I think I will use the VRVP for Sui here. Let me just go ahead and get rid of this this Fibonacci for now. So the point of control for Sui is below us at $2.25. That was a good area to buy Sui at. I'm not sure if we're ever going to go back down there again, but if we do, that's a very good area to be buying Sui. You got a volume node here at 281. That would be a more practical area to be buying Sui. If Sui does come down to lower prices, 280 could be a good area to buy some Sui. But you would have to break through the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average is at $3.19. That red line right there. That's the more likely area for you to buy some relatively cheap Sui. And then as we start climbing up to higher prices here on Sui, you do have a value area high at 383. For some reason, that seems to be an area that Sui will have a tough time to break. But if you do break past that, then the volume really drops off. And you got some volume here saying like 417, 420 is another good area to be selling your Sui. And then above you, at like 468 to like 480. Another good area to be selling SUI. And SUI hasn't been at 460, 480 since like January, earlier this year. But let me try to go back to looking at my Fibonacci here. The Fibonacci is showing that you got a 1272 Fib extension at $5. Should be an area that you should click the sell button on SUI if you're short-term swing trading this. And then you got the 1618 saying that SUI could get up to like 576, and then you got a 2618 saying that SUI could get up to like $7.90, and that's basically a double from where you are right now. But I think it's steady as she goes for SUI. I want to see SUI start making higher highs on the daily time frame. Looks like the low came in at $3.11 on September 1st. Could this be a higher low and then we see SUI go up to higher prices? If SUI does go up to higher prices, I would expect the 786 retracement to act as resistance, as it already did here on Thursday. We saw SUI go up to like 397, 398. I don't know if you guys remember seeing my live stream on Thursday, but I was like, oh, should I sell SUI right now? Because I was trying to push for $4 just because it's a psychological number, but I knew that 398 was the 786 retracement, and that's literally what we came up to. And then as SUI started losing its momentum, I actually sold my my leverage long on SUI at like 395 or somewhere like 390 or 395, somewhere in that area. And thank God I did, because I would have lost my my leverage long, and I would have been probably stopped out. And yeah, SUI came down to like 325 here on Monday, 328 here on Tuesday. I think SUI is another crypto that I like going leverage long on. So if we start catching the bids here on SUI, I'd expect SUI to at least get back up to like 362 within the next day or two. That's that golden pocket level here. But yeah, I don't know. Let me take a look at my long here on Aerodrome. I am in a long on Aerodrome. Let's see, I bought Aerodrome earlier this morning at $1.11, 1.117 pennies to be exact. We're currently trading a little bit below where I bought, and I got my stop loss at $1.10. And I talked about this earlier in the last stream, but like $1.10, in order for us to get down to $1.10 and stop us out, we would have to lose this uptrend that we're currently in with the higher lows here. And we would have to lose this impulse candle here that got us up to where we're at. Back here earlier this morning, we saw Aerodrome catch some bids. It went up like 2% in like less than 15 minutes. So we would have to cancel out all this action here and come down here in order for me to get stopped out on Aerodrome. And if I do get stopped out, I will lose $25 on that trade. If I, if I'm able to stay in the trade to $1.30, I'll make $272 on that trade. And I think $1.30 is a reasonable area for Aerodrome to go up to, because that was an area that we were trading at on last Thursday. We saw like $1.35, $1.36 here on Aerodrome. I think $1.30 seems to be a reasonable target. I don't know. Maybe I might decide to add more to this position. I don't know. I want to see if we can continue to stay above this 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame. Got to stay above $1.11 here. Let's go back to Daddy Bitcoin, see how Daddy Bitcoin is doing, because that will help determine if we're going to go up to higher prices or not. Is Bitcoin lower than when I first started this live stream? Let's see the 1 hour time frame here for Bitcoin. I went live at like 12 o'clock Eastern time here. And we started at 112,900, yeah. Because Bitcoin was like almost at $113,000 when before I went live here. So we got a little nasty little red candle here on Bitcoin. This could be a buying opportunity. And if it is a buying opportunity, I do want to buy at least some SUI here. Let's see. What does SUI look like on the 1 hour time frame? SUI's getting a nice little red candle here. If I was to get into a SUI trade right now, maybe put the stop loss below what we did here on September 22nd. Yesterday's candle, we came as low as 328. And if I was to stay in the trade on SUI, I'm hoping to see if I go long on SUI right now, I want to get up to like 360 or 369, that golden pocket level. It's also like where the 200 moving averages on the 1 hour time frame. That's what I'm targeting for a long here on SUI. Let's go game plan this out on Mexi. Let's see if I can get into a trade on SUI here. So we kind of topped out here on the 15-minute time frame, $3.41. Getting a nice little 5-cent discount on SUI. Let's see, what kind of leverage? 20x leverage. I've been doing like 10% of the account. Going long. Want to do take profit at 360. That'll give me $107 on that trade, $108. And then stop loss, we were trying to do 328, but that might be too much. I'll lose $37 on that. I want my stop loss to be like, I don't want to lose $20 on a stop loss if I can. So what I could do is I could do less leverage, but if I do less leverage, that means less profit. Or I can make my stop loss a little bit tighter. And I may do that instead. Let's see, we got as low as 333. We came as low as 333 last night at like 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. Let me see. If I did 333, what does that do to my stop loss? 333. I'll only lose $12. That doesn't seem so bad. Maybe I could do 332. Or let's see, with 331 maybe? Yeah, let's do 331. I'm going to open it up. Let's do it. All right, here we go. I just got into a SUI leverage long, 20x leverage long. We just opened that trade just now on Tuesday afternoon. I got in at $3.35, just below 336. And, for the take profit and stop loss. The stop loss, I'll lose $22 on this trade if we go down to $3.31. I'll make about $109 if we get up to like 360 on SUI. Cool stuff. It's good for me. And I think that's all I want to be in for trades right now. Just SUI and Aerodrome until like we start seeing better things here. Ugh. And Aerodrome's dropping right now. If it goes down to $1.10, I'm gonna get knocked out of that trade. Let's see, Aerodrome. Yeah, I'll lose about $25 on that trade if I get knocked out. Let's see what Aerodromes look like on the chart right now. We're on the 50-minute chart for Aerodrome. $1.10, yeah. I'm still sticking to the $1.10. If we lose $1.10, then there's something wrong with this market, to be honest. But yeah, we will lose the uptrend as well. It's a battle between the longs and the shorts the last couple of days here. And I just don't understand why crypto is vomiting its guts out The stock market is not doing that. Let's see what the stock market's doing right now. Oh, I guess the stock market is having a bad day as well. The Nasdaq is down 0.69%. They're getting a red candle for the day. I think people were just concerned about the markets already being near all-time highs, and the Federal Reserve decided to cut interest rates. And they're not sure if the Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates again. Some people are worried that it's going to be a one-and-done kind of deal here. So they're wondering if this could be the top of the market for stocks and crypto. Then there's some people that worry about recession as well. So I don't know. It's every day there's something to be worried about, and there's also something to be excited about too. People are excited about more interest rate cuts. Some people are worried about a recession. People are worried about World War III, possibly starting with all the geopolitical events out there. And looking at the S&P 500, currently trading at 6,655. I think if the S&P 500 does drop down, it will just come down to the 21 EMA. It's been using that as support almost all throughout the last few months here. And at 21 EMA, that white line is sitting at 6,540. So maybe we come down another 100 points on the S&P 500 if we do drop down. I got a little bit of cash ready to go in my stock market account if we do drop down on the S&P 500. Dow Jones, let's look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones currently trading at 46,284, 283. And the Dow Jones has also been using the 21 EMA as support over the last 5 months here. And if we do drop down to the 21 EMA, that's at 45,700. That's about like another 600-point drop from where we are right now on the Dow Jones. But I think it's steady as she goes for the stock market as well. We really need to see something really bad happen to cause a significant drop. But I think we're doing quite fine here with stock market world, which you would think would kind of transfer over to cryptocurrency world, but just no. The only cryptocurrencies that are doing pretty well is like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. Those are the ones that are making new all-time highs for 2025. The rest of them are just understandably acting like trash and garbage. Sui made a new all-time high, but it was like at the beginning of this year. And it's just not that many winners out there in cryptocurrency world. All right, let me see if let me go back into the chat here for TikTok, see what you guys are saying here. I think I'm getting close to ending this live stream soon. Dizzo wants to look at oh yeah, that's right. Binance Coin did pretty well as well. Let's see what Binance Coin is doing. I haven't looked at that one in a while. And with Binance Coin being a cryptocurrency exchange, a lot of the other cryptocurrency exchanges don't have Binance Coin because they don't want to support their competitor. Like, you won't find Binance Coin on Coinbase. I can tell you that. Yeah, Coinbase is not going to try to support their competitor from the other side of the world. Binance Coin currently trading at $1,019. We haven't seen Binance Coin this high ever. It's like near its all-time high. Binance Coin got as high as $1,087 on Sunday. Wow! Congratulations to the Binance Coin investors out there. That's what happens when you have a good exchange that continues buying back its own coin, using the trading fees to buy back and reduce the amount of coins that are out there. I think the other exchanges should do the same as well. Binance Coin obviously has been doing it the best. If Binance Coin, I'm still going to use this Fibonacci, but if Binance Coin continues going up to higher prices, there is a 2618 that says that we could see Binance get up to like $1,300, 1338. We've already hit the 1618 already. I think that's why traders decided to take profit. That 1618 was at $1,058. And this Fibonacci was just measuring from like where we were topping out here on August 22nd. At like 8 there on June 22nd when we were at like 603. I might have to adjust that a little bit. I think, yeah, we gotta have it at $900. So, oh yeah, there we go. Look at that, 1618 hit perfectly to the T, pretty much. 1,087 and 1,083. That's your 1618. So this is still being used by somebody out there. They're still using this Fibonacci here. And I guess that 2618 puts it at 1380 for Binance Coin. Let's see what the oscillators look like for Binance Coin. RSI is overbought here. It was overbought on Sunday. Today, RSI is at 66, so no longer overbought. But close to it, though. MACD is showing buying pressure is dying down on Binance Coin. So be careful. Looks like the excitement is starting to die down on Binance Coin. You could be in for lower prices here, possibly. Stochastic RSI is curving down and trending down. And then here at Market Cipher B, you did get a red sell dot here on Binance Coin on Monday, yesterday, saying that that's a good day to start selling your Binance Coin. So I think Binance Coin might be due for a correction and a sell-off right now. Just that's what the oscillators are telling me. That's what the indicators are telling me. And if Binance does come down to low prices, you do have the 21 EMA that could act as support at 931. And then you get the previous high, you know, here at $900. That could also act as support as well. And I think that's the levels that you're looking for. A little bit closer than that, though, you got the 1272. We could see Binance Coin come down to 980 if it's overly bullish and never go lower than that before you go to higher prices. All right, so we looked at Bitcoin, we looked at Binance Coin. I think that's gonna be it for this live stream here. We've gone live for almost 2 hours now. I'm glad you guys were able to come out to the live stream and request these coins and these stocks here. I'm trying to go live again tomorrow because TikTok gave me so much trouble. I'm just going to do my live stream normally on YouTube, and I'm going to do TikTok on the phone. But yeah, that's going to be it for this live stream. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Be on the lookout for my next live stream. Take care, guys, and good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get into. Let's get the music cranking here. Back to Bitcoin. Thank you, Molian. Take care and have a nice day yourself as well. And DZ, if you're still there, take care as well. Good to see you again, buddy. Adios, Dizel. See you later, Cam. See you in the next live stream. Same to you, Mar. Good to see you. Thank you for hitting that like button. Oh, that's right. That's why I can't do that.